This is NewHampshireCrossCountry.com, powered by Runner's Alley. Meet Hub brought to you by Go Solar New England. We're at the 2018 Meet of Champions at Mines Falls. I'm joined today by Jim McKenzie and Nate from Exeter.
How are you doing today? This should be a great race. We just got over all our rain. 2 weeks in a row. It looks like it's going to be 3 weeks in a row.
Could be 3 weeks.
3 weeks in a row of rain. So basically, you got to throw out the times today and just see where you stack up. What do you think about on the girls' side, Nate?
So on the girls' side, if we're talking teams, I guess you got to start with the defending New England champion Pinkerton team. They ran great in this type of weather last week. Kind of hard to compare them to Cole Brown because Cole Brown later in the day had a sloppy course. So the merger, you can't really read into those times too much. Those two teams will be right up there. Exeter's a dangerous team on a nice flat course like this. And then in terms of the last couple teams maybe vying for that spot to New England, Conval team runs tough. They got a couple up front there. Same with BG, built similar.
Right. So Egan, remember last year when they surprised everybody?
You never count them out. A young Salem team. They could have a bounce back week from last week.
Individually, what are we looking at today?
I would think you're going to have the three big guns up front there with Sophia Reynolds, Caroline Fisher, BG, and Robitaille from West. Anyone else come to mind for you?
Did you say Sophia Reynolds?
I did say Sophia Reynolds.
Sophia Reynolds, yes. She would be the favorite, I would think. Although, experience-wise, I don't know if she's ever even raced on this course. So that'll be interesting. Being a freshman and being from the Andover area, it'd be interesting to see if she has even raced here. So Fisher might have a big advantage.
Well, Fisher and Robitaille, they went 2-3 last year and arguably the fastest girls race ever at the Meet of Champs. If I remember correctly, Robitaille ran 17:05 and Fisher ran like 17:35. So those are some times. They post those times today, then that's going to be an interesting race.
Again, no Callie Coffin. She would have been probably the favorite.
Yes, she would have been right up there. We would have been talking about her as well.
But hey, Nashua South last week, they had a girl who did really well for them.
Is that Lydia?
Yeah, Lydia Matson.
Yeah, Lydia had a great race for them last week. There's some other girls that could challenge for top 10.
Carolyn Toll, of course.
Yes.
Addison Cox. Let's see, Claire Ververker would probably be up there.
Conval, yep. Conval will need her to be up there as well.
Violet Sullivan.
Violet Sullivan should be right up there.
Maya Doobie of Kearsarge. She's the D3 champion. So
Megan Cross of Pinkerton ran great last week.
Right. Hey, Corinne Robitaille she could prove to herself. Last year she came in 25th in New England.
She sure did, yeah. No, there's a lot of really experienced runners in this field today.
So we're all clear of the rain, but we got about 30, 40 mile an hour winds blowing.
We do have some winds at different conditions. New Hampshire kids are used to this type of stuff.
Yeah. Should be another grime and grind run.
Another team we forgot to mention who ran excellent last week was the Concord girls. They came on strong.
They did.
Once.
They did. They got one girl up front, but then they got a whole gang of them all right together. So they've come on really well, finishing third place.
There's a lot of teams that will be vying to get that fifth runner in first, and especially the ones that don't have the low point scorers up top there.
So remember, six teams advance, 25 individually.
A lot of those individuals will probably come from those teams that are going to qualify. But
so we've got a total of like 150 athletes in this race.
Yep. So a lot bigger than some of the races we saw last week.
Right.
Certainly bigger than the Division I meet. D2 race was actually huge though.
Yeah, that was. Especially, which one was the big one? D2 boys?
I think it was the D2 boys was the big one.
Like
D3 boys was the biggest race of the day.
Oh, D3 boys.
Okay.
D3 boys, that's what it was. They just kept coming.
It was.
You guys know it's the first time in 20 years Salem has made it to this race.
Oh, first time in 20 years, Salem. And they're tough. They're going to be good for a few years.
Yeah, they will.
They still got a lot in their middle school
program.
program.
3 freshmen on that varsity team. So
Young Salem team, and I tell you, they won the meet here, the Nashua meet here.
they did.
Right.
So they have experience on this course as well, so you can't count them out.
No.
I tell you though, we've been running here Meet of Champs since 05?
Yep.
Can you think of a different time running this race where conditions have been worse than this?
No, this is the worst. This is the worst. But you know what? It's the same for everybody.
It sure is.
So line up. And last week is a little different when you have 6 races, and it definitely got better to worse.
Yeah, you could not compare that merger from last week. It's
Nope.
just
I mean, it wasn't raining for everybody, but the course got pretty muddy for Division 2. I mean, well, and I don't think it's going to get any better for next week. New
no, it
England.
doesn't look good. Certainly hasn't had a chance to dry out at all.
No. The rain that we got yesterday and today has to be some of the hardest rains
Yesterday was-
that I've ever seen in the fall. So there's the whistle.
And they're
They're
off.
up.
Oh, right away someone went down.
That's not how to start.
No.
Coming at us, our 2018 girls race for Meet of Champions.
Look at the puddles out there. So right to the front, Sophia Reynolds,
Yes.
Maya Doobie,
Fisher's
Robitaille
right there,
sisters, yeah.
and Robitaille,
Yeah, sure.
Cox, all the ones we talked about right up to the front.
Your top runners are right up there.
Yep.
We're a little over 400 meters in to the 2018 Meet of Champions girls race. We see Julia Robitaille way out front, followed by Reynolds, Doobie, and other Robitaille, Corinne. They have separated quite a bit from the main pack for this early in the race. So it should be interesting to see if they keep pushing the rest of the race and really spread this race out right at the start. So we'll see what happens.
It looks like Julia Robitaille is taking a lead in this first mile.
Maya, you're in a good
Coming alongside here.
Maya,
that's your group right
there. That's your group.
Manchester West in the race there. Bishop Girton comes Addison Cox first for Cole Brown. And here comes the rest of the field. Cole Brown showing a strong front. Conval also a team to look out for in this race. Souhegan can never count them out.
Nice job, Jenna. Eyes up, eyes up. Let's go, Lena.
All right, here they come. You hear the roar of the crowd.
Comes the Gator.
So this should be interesting to see if there's any separation at this point.
Even the Gator's sliding a little bit. Yeah.
Well,
Oh, we got
New England champ.
Yeah, New England champ is back. Taking it out hard.
Sticking out high, but hey,
Reynolds is right there, Fisher's right there, Doobie's right there, and the other Robitaille. So the
you
five
get
we
five.
thought that would be in the front.
then you get Addison, Violet Sullivan,
2 Exeters for a team.
Lauren Robinson, Ariana Bracco, Margaret Salem.
From a team perspective, we got 3 Cole Browns up there, 2 Exeters, 2 Worcester Rivers,
Several Salem are up there
bunch of
already.
Salem. Yeah, Salem looks like they went out hard. They're going after it.
Pinkerton's girls are pretty far back.
Yep, here comes the Pinkerton crew.
Wow, Pinkerton's like, they're going to take that same strategy they did last week.
They did.
I'm not so sure that's going to work this week.
They came from way back last week on a hilly course. They're gonna have to do the same on a flat course today.
Yeah, that's going to be hard to make up that distance. But, not impossible.
Not impossible.
All right, here we are at the mile marker, and we have Julia Robitaille coming through with a pretty good gap over the next 2 runners. That's Reynolds of Merrimack Valley, and then Fisher of Bishop Girton.
Followed by Maya Doobie of Kearsarge, and then
Corinne Robitaille. So they went through about 5:30, 5:25 for the first Robitaille.
Caroline Toll, Addison Cox,
There's Violet Sullivan, Lauren Robinson,
Now's when I start looking team-wise. Still pretty early, still pretty packed up here. We do have Conval with their 3 past us. Cole Brown with 2 past us.
There's Oyster River. I think they got 3, and this might be their 4 coming through.
Salem with a pair. Central, who looked phenomenal last week, they've got a trio.
And obviously Bishop Girton up front.
Yeah, they had some low numbers up there.
But still pretty mixed in at this point, although the leaders have really pushed this race and stretched it out a lot over the first mile.
I'll tell you, the 1 mile Meet of Champions is the closest mile we see all season. It's just phenomenal to see all of these girls so close together, and it just means that it's anyone's race, and it really does. Anything could happen at this point.
Especially just because this first mile is just completely wide open. Everyone can stick with the leaders, and gets pretty mixed up.
Julia Robitaille looks like she's out in front.
Robitaille still just crushing this course right now. She's gonna have a lot of confidence after the race she had on this last year.
12-second lead right now she's got. 12-second lead.
Sophia Reynolds, Caroline Fisher sitting 2-3, Doobie in 4, the other Robitaille sister in 5.
So he's your top 5 right there. Wow, she's 12-second lead already.
Here's, from a team perspective, here comes the BG2. This is Caroline Toll. So they're gonna have 2 low sticks again. Violet Sullivan, Addison Cox.
Lauren Robinson, Ariana Bracco. Let's see.
There's 2 from Exeter.
2 from Cole Brown.
2 from Souhegan, 2 from Conval.
3 Exeter.
3 Exeters now. 3 Cole Browns. 4 Cole Browns. 5 Cole Browns. So Cole Browns out to the early lead. Oh, number 4 from Exeter and Exeter. So it looks like those 2 teams are out in front.
Pinkerton, they're just too far back.
They're too far back right now.
Still a lot of real estate, but
In
man,
fact-
I wouldn't dig myself a big hole.
In fact, we've seen 5 Concords go by already as well. Concord's got a great race going.
Salem looked like they were doing pretty good.
Salem
for
had,
also.
yep. Same
But
with.
it's hard with Salem because their uniform definitely doesn't blend in as much.
Oh, you're right about that.
So that's the problem we have. The issue we have is looking at a lot of uniforms that blend together.
All right, we're here somewhere between mile 1 and mile 2 in the Woods Loop. Giving you a sneak peek of the field. Julia Robitaille still out in front, leading that pack by a good 7 to 10 seconds. Here comes that 4 that we saw earlier. Although spread out a little bit as we get through the race. Manchester West currently holds position 1 and 5. BG in second. Here comes the rest of the field. We got Bishop Girton in the mix, Souhegan, Co Brown. Comes Conval's first. Seen runners from Portsmouth Christian. Here's more Conval. Their top 3 coming through. Co Brown's top 3.
Let's go, Chrissy! Yeah, Chrissy!
Now we see the majority of the field coming through. More Co Brown.
Yeah, Chrissy!
More from Oyster River.
Chrissy!
It's a nice, flat, fast course for the runners today. We always see a lot of low times here on this race. A lot of runners' favorite course throughout the season. We'll take you up to see the front of the pack up at the other side of the Woods Loop. Okay, here we are out again. Julia Robitaille, Merrimack Valley tied for first and second. Comes BG in third. West in fourth. And Kearsarge in fifth. So there's your top 5 runners in the girls' race for the Meet of Champions. That was Sophia Reynolds from Merrimack Valley battling Julia Robitaille for first in this race. We see more of the field coming through. Caroline Fisher for BG in that top 5 mix. Caroline Toll also in the top 10 for BG. We're seeing for more Belmont and Exeter, and Oyster River slowly moving up with their team pack. So it looks like Campbell come through in Code Brown's top 4. Winners from the Division II state championship race. All runners working really hard here today, showing off their skills. Some of them, this will be the last race they will run. Everybody's leaving everything on the cross-country course here today. Looking for some fast finishes out there as we head towards mile 3. Comes a big pack from Hanover, in about the middle of the pack in the race. Sauhegan backing them up. So Corinne and Julia Robitaille still holding on to in those 1 and top 5 spots. But Sophia Reynolds from Merrimack Valley certainly giving her a run for her money. So we'll see how this all plays out. We'll meet you at the 3rd mile and then the finish line.
So it looks like Sophia Reynolds has really made a big move in the woods there.
She made an awesome move.
She's overtaken Robitaille. Robitaille's tough though. She's gonna hang tough on this. Looks like Fisher's sitting in 3rd. You'll see her go by.
Tell you what, if I was her, I'd be sitting right on her to break any wind once you get out in the open field. I wouldn't let that gap. Don't let the race get away from you right
definitely.
here.
You gotta stay
There's
right.
your race right there.
You gotta get right on her hip. Neither one of them want Fisher at the end though.
No.
Fisher's got a monstrous kick.
And the best kicker might be right there, Corinne Robitaille.
You're right about that. And she's moved way up.
Maya Doobie.
Maya Doobie's still sitting in top 5. Excellent.
Awesome job by her.
Lauren Robinson's made a move in there. All the way up to 6th. Now from the team perspective, here come the number 1s for both Cole Brown and Exeter.
That's Bishop Girton 2nd.
Yeah. Conval's got 2 in.
We anticipated Conval and BG both having 2 way up there. There's our Pinkerton number 1.
Exeter's number 2, right?
No, Exeter's number 2. Oh, Conval 3 way up there.
Yep. Cole Brown
2.
2.
2. Here comes Exeter's 3.
So right now Exeter's winning this. Well, Conval's winning it, but there's Oyster River's got a couple.
We got a couple Oyster Rivers going by.
Whoa!
Oh, jeez.
That's bad.
That was hard.
Ooh, that was a hard fall.
That was a hard fall. She got right up.
quick though.
Yep.
Hey, here comes a Cole Brown 3. Here comes a Cole Brown 4. So Cole Brown's in the lead now with 4 in.
Another for Pinkerton, another for Salem.
Another Exeter.
Another Exeter. Another Oyster River.
Yeah, that was 2 that just came by.
Well, we thought it would be close on the girls' side, and I think it's going to be. Now here's a Cole Brown 5, so they're the first one with 5 bias. Guess who's moving way up in the team standings? I think they're going to run out of real estate, but I think I've seen 5 Pinkertons go by now.
And with most of the pack bias, we're going to throw it over to Davia so we can get to the finish.
Okay.
Here we see the leaders coming up over the hill into the last field loop. In front we have Sophia Reynolds with only about a 10-meter gap over Julie Robitaille. So this could be a close race right to the finish. They only have a couple 100 meters left to go at this point, and the wind is in their faces right now going up this last little hill. So especially for the front 2 and these 2, which is Corinne Robitaille and Caroline Fisher, it might be beneficial to kind of tuck in behind somebody if you're close and let them push through the wind and then make your move once the wind is kind of cleared up. Here's Maya Doobie of Kearsarge in 5th coming through. Lauren Robinson of Milford. And so there's Conval, got a strong 1-2. There's Caroline Toll right next to Addison Cox. So Bishop Girton has 2 in, Conval has 2 in. There's Violet Sullivan of Exeter going by. That's Exeter's 1st. Sauhegan's 2nd. Carly Rinko of Bedford, that's their 1st. Exeter's 2nd. Co-Brown's 2nd. Conval's 3rd. So of these top teams, it looks like it's going to be pretty tight, which was expected. The merger showed that all the scores for the girls were going to be pretty close together at this point. So we'll see what happens down towards the finish line. We're now just before the last corner going into the straightaway. There's Sophia Reynolds with a big gap. So she should take home this victory. And here is both of the Robitaille sisters close together. That's going to be a good fight to the finish. Right together for 2 and 3. And then Caroline Fisher here in 4th.
Sophia Reynolds, first one over the hill. She has run a monstrous second half of this course.
So she looks like she'll have a good shot at breaking 18.
Incredible effort from the freshman.
Wow, and the 2 sisters.
2 sisters are going to come 2-3. Separated by a stride. Pretty impressive performance from the freshman.
Exactly. Look at her. She was 12 seconds down at one point. She's going to be just
under 18.
17:59.
On a day like today, that's a great run.
And here are the 2 sisters battling.
Julia and Corinne.
Julia and Corinne going 2-3. Fisher, 4 important points for BG here.
Yeah, so like those first points didn't count for anybody.
Here comes Lauren Robinson. Oh, Doobie's going to get her right at the line. Sauhegan's going to have a real low stick up there. And here come the 2 Conval girls.
Conval girls. Another Sauhegan coming in.
Oh, this is a BG. This is the BG
Oh,
too.
BG. This is Carolyn Towle.
Yep, Carolyn Towle. Toll.
Addison Cox finishing strong. Should be just under 19.
Oh, wow. Here's another Sauhegan. Violet Sullivan. So here comes the number 1 for both Pinkerton
Those
and
could be
Exeter.
very important points right there.
Oh, Exeter number 2.
Wow. Kylie Rinko, Exeter.
So we're right around 19 minutes. Last year, to put it in perspective, the top 25 finished under 18:44 on this course. Obviously, different day, worse conditions. Here comes another Cole Brown, and here comes a Conval 3. So Cole Brown.
Riley of Belmont.
Very good run by Alice.
Here comes a Cole Brown 4.
Cadence Murphy of Oyster River.
Boy, a lot of these kids gave it their all on the course. You can see they're spent coming in.
Yeah.
So here's a Cole Brown 5. So I think that all but sures it up for Cole Brown taking the meet of champs.
Exeter's got a few in. How many was this? Exeter's what?
This should be Exeter 4.
Exeter 4. Salem.
I didn't see Cole Brown's 5th.
She just went by.
That might have been
That might have been their 4?
Newmarket. No, that could
Okay.
have Newmarket.
That got me last week. There was Newmarket and
Pinkerton stacking him in now.
hey, here comes the Exeter 5.
Exeter's 5, huh?
So we think Exeter and Cole Brown are definitely through. Here comes a
Conval's 4.
Conval 4, yes. I tell you what, there's packs of girls coming in right now, and These like you said, these could be huge points in terms of qualifying for next week.
Every point counts. You got to run through the finish. It's like, because you just don't know where you're stacking up at this point.
There's another Cole Brown.
So you think Cole Brown took that?
I think Cole Brown won. I could have counted wrong.
It's Conval's 5th, so she looks like she'd be a little too far back at this point.
I don't know. They had those 3 really low numbers though.
Right. Pinkerton started stacking them in though. They definitely came on late, but I don't know if it was be interesting to start scoring the points and see exactly where they stand.
It definitely is going to be close for those 6 teams vying for a shot at New England's next week.
Well, the course was definitely a little bit sloppy. It was a tough fall we saw at the bridge.
That was a hard fall.
I wonder how many we didn't see.
Yeah, that bridge is tough
It is.
surface in good conditions.
Yes. Yeah, I saw a wipe out there this year earlier in the year. It was like took like 3 or 4 guys down. Rainy, sloppy day. That's the problem with pressure treated.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's just slippery slop.
Even if you put like that tar paper on it, it's still.
Yep. Oh,
It's not gonna do the trick there.
So again, top 6 teams will move on to New England. Teams to really focus on right now, BG, Cole Brown, and Pinkerton all have 5 or more for a streak. So they're in that streak of consecutive appearances.
Right.
And then Souhegan's right there. They're at 4, looking to make it 5 in a row. And they did have a good performance from some of their girls.
yeah, Souhegan looked good. They had some girls coming on. It's going to be tough. It's really tough to do the math when you've got 10 or 11 teams that, you know, they're all there.
And it seemed like all those teams you were talking about, they all had 2 that were up front,
Right.
and then we're trying to figure out the 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, you look at the rankings from throughout this season. I mean, this race really sums it up well, where it's anyone could do it, and all those spots can shift around on any given day. So, should be a tight team battle to the end.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see when the scores come out, and, where we stand.
As we see our last few runners coming through, once again, this has been NewHampshireCrossCountry.com, powered by Runners Alley. Meet Hub brought to you by Go Solar New England, located right in New Hampshire, Barrington, New Hampshire. Free consultations, check them out. This has been your 2018 Meet of Champions girls race. We're going to head over and get ready for the boys.